brothers and sisters, my generals, my family, children, current subscribers, new subscribers, anybody that view, I salute, because we are back to conquer another day, another year, and another decade. And just be thankful for our ancestors, those who fought hard to get many of us in the state and the place that we are in. Just be thankful, and I always place that gold over our families. May all of our families prosper and everything we touch turn to gold. May those that transition that we held dear and our families, may they rest in peace and in power. And when our calling, when do we know? When do we know when we have a calling? And this on my banner here is when I went to M.A.T.C. in Milltown. You have to talk in code sometimes if you know where Milltown is. That's what's on my banner. M.A.T.C. Community College in Milltown. And I'm going to talk about one's experience at M.A.T.C. And how little stepping stones along the way in our lives that help us. Every little part helps. We learn from the negative, we learn from the positive. But it's always more beautiful when we learn from the positive, because it's unfortunate that we are learning from the negative. We learn from the negative. Some learn, some don't, brother or sister. But our calling, when do we know? And I've always had this in my spirit. I've spoken on this before, that I always felt, and I'm sure a lot of us feel this towards different areas in our lives. We feel this magnetic pull towards whatever it is, whether it's speaking or getting a job or something for the family or just doing the right thing overall. We all feel something in our gut or in our heart to do, especially when it comes to something important. We all get those little divine downloads. Melanated brothers and sisters, some spiritual, some educated, different gifts for different people, different individuals. Great Divine made us all individuals for a reason. So we can understand each other, assess each other, and see each other's brilliance, different walks of life. And I'm talking melanation, different countries, different states, different cities, maybe continent, different areas. But melanation is all over, That's why it's stupid. That's why you hear so many of us that are trying to, inform, brothers and sisters, or give encouragement or give advice or maybe even knowledge that'll help us in this life. And every little part matters, especially when it's righteous. As I always say, no matter what road we walk on, what we came through, if we're righteous and we have learned, and now we have elevated, we're all part of that same tree. Just what? Different branches. And when do we know our calling? I gotta go back to that. It's something, like I say, something that weighs on our heart, something that you're very, very passionate about. And that can be whatever that is, whatever gift that is. It could be a gift in your area, of expertise, as I heard a great brother say. But it's up to us to know what that expertise is, what we're good in, and it doesn't matter if it's small or big. If it's a good thing, if it brings you, breathe life into you, embrace it, grow with it. Don't accept no criticism. Well, we can accept constructive criticism, whatever it is, but everything, when you learn, when you internalize that everything is a learning process, you'll flow through life a little more simpler. Things will be less complicated. When you'll notice this. We all notice this as we get up in levels of what? Self-awareness or education. But on my banner here is me when I used to look out the window, when I used to go to this college. And it was a wonderful experience. And I think about it sometimes. Sometimes I'll ride by there. It was a wonderful experience. And this was probably back in 2014, 2015 is when I first moved to the Milltown. And, as soon as I got here, I got right on it and, had some unfortunate things because I'm from the D-Town. Remember, I talk in code. D-Town, Illinois. That's where I'm from. And, had some unfortunate things that happened there. And so I had to move here. Most of my I got family in D-Town too, but a lot of my family's here too in Milltown. So that was one of the reasons I moved up here, because we all getting up in age and everybody's moving away and working and we're always busy. So I at least be up here, close to my mom, and my mom stay here. My brother stay in D-Town, got a little bit of family and a lot in other cities too. I got family all over. I can't name all the cities, but see, I got family in Texas. I just had an auntie and a cousin. Well, my cousin been staying there. Houston, Texas. Yeah, I got a cousin in Texas, and family here in Milltown. But that's why I moved here. If I said that right, Houston, Texas. I hope I said that right. If I said something, if I said something wrong, forgive me. But yeah. But this on my banner here is when I used to look out the window. That's at the community college, actually, M.A.T.C. You had to look that up, what M.A.T.C. is. But anyway, and I used to stop and look out the window and just kind of gaze out and think about stuff. And I've had this photo for a while, and these thoughts been in my mind. I always felt this magnetic pull. It's like it was a reason. You ever felt like it was just something that just kept bothering you? Like I said, if you got a calling or something you love to do and it keep bothering you and it weighs on you and you, man, it gives you goosebumps, and I'm talking about that kind of passion. When it gives you goosebumps, that's your calling, and it fills you with good energy, and it makes you want to share it with others. That's your calling, and whatever it is, remember, it's many gifts. But as long as it's righteous and it's a benefit, not nothing bad, toxic, none of that. Not caught up in too many trends out here. Man, that's why I made that podcast called The Honeybee Theory. Like I said, this media, this world, this matrix is the honey, and we are the bees. And unfortunate, some, every time they put something out there, bzzz, we jump right to it. Not all of us, but some. So I brought, thankful for that strength of that great divine, as many others, brothers and sisters, as myself, have brought oneself out of that. Stay focused on the things that are important. Our mind, body, soul, what we see, hear, and feel. Man, that good old psyche. Woo, man, that's a tough challenge for me, or it was, man. And we still learn. That's why we keep what? A student spirit. But yeah, I came across this photo and it just, brought back some stepping stones, that good old introspection. That's what makes us powerful. That's what keep us forging forward and powering through, brother or sister, young or old. Remember those stepping stones. And saying stepping stones sound weird, but I mean like righteously. It just sound weird saying stepping stones. But, a righteous stepping stone, it could be a family member. It could be a friend in the past that helped you. It could be a content creator. There's a lot of real ones out there, brother or sister. I will always mention that, because if you got, like I say, if you got nothing within you that's wrong, if you're not harboring anything evil or nothing, you have nothing to worry about. Just be what? True to oneself. And when we know our calling and we feel it, don't miss it. Don't miss it. Embrace it. I don't care what age we are. If it's something good, not nothing, to wrongly influence someone. We try our best, Like I say, when we at a heightened self-awareness, there'll be less mistakes. And we do all these things. We do all these righteous things, not just to be righteous and be perfect. We do it so we can be aware of stuff. Because as many of us say, and I say all the time, things coming at us at all angles. So we got to be ready on all fronts. I mean, not just these little small spaces we in. We are powerful. We are big. But like I say, there's a greater, bigger world out there. And that greater, higher force is more bigger. The universe is more powerful than all of this. I always think of the greater divine looking down on us. We like little ants to that power. That's how much respect I have for that power. Have came through a lot of storms, as many of us. Man, that great divine, just sit sometimes and just think of those great moments that we have conquered. The things that we back then, or, wherever space we're in, wherever age we are, what level we're at of self-awareness. We think back then and things we thought were impossible. And we made it through then, we'll make it through now. I don't care if this world changing, the money changes. I don't give a dang. You stay confident in that great divine, Mother Nature, rules overall. I don't care what they try to put out here in this media to put fear mongering and, unfortunate. Some get stuck in that, sheeple, as I talked about in the past, about many podcasts back. Never, ever be a sheeple. You get to yourself and you think and you get your ass back on board, back on course, and focus on the things that are what? Important, vital. Pay attention to those pivotal points in our lives. Now, I don't want to be talking and coming off like, of course, I'm not perfect. I don't do everything right, but we get what? Better over time. Because when we practice righteousness, the more we do something, the better we get. And I'm talking righteous, I ain't talking about no bad shit. Unfortunate, you got some that been doing bad shit for a long time. It's crazy, That's why I just, of course, many of us that are reaching and teaching, a lot of us that be online, we see things that's going on in the media, via politics, wars, celebrities, rappers, entertainers. I said this, I'm still talking about our calling, and this is a part of our calling. Just being aware of things, and always don't have to be intertwined. We can observing can be our best friend sometimes because it keeps us out of trouble and not jumping off our impulses and kind of just, like, see, I'm gonna use like seeing things in the media as far as our celebs or whatever. We reserve, as I heard Dave Chappelle say this one time, reserve judgment until the facts come out. That's the best thing one can do for oneself, and not so quick to put stuff on. I'm not saying all of us do this, but some that do, not quick to do what everybody else doing because we think we gonna get hits and all that, and then you look like you're clout chasing. Not, I know, like I say, when you're in the right circles, we'll know who the clout chasers are, because you become heightened in your self-awareness, and in our levels of awareness, we'll know who the clout chasers are. But and it's just my opinion. As I said, I'm getting to this podcast I made. That's what I talked about in the honeybee theory, about everybody having the same thing on their banner. It's good that we speak on these things, but man, if we could just have our own language and talk about it in a different way instead of, I don't know. It's just my opinion. It's just like like I say, this social media is very, very powerful. It'll have everybody hopping on these trends. Let's not forget about this revolution. It's not a trend, it's a revolution. It's a righteous walk. So that's what centers me. Again, I just suggest, teach, and give advice. But when we know our calling, we'll be able to understand a lot of things. We'll know what to burn our energy on and what not, and we'll pay attention to what our calling is. So don't forget it. If we connect it to the higher power, Mother Nature, that force won't let us forget, because it's going to weigh on our soul. It's going to weigh on our heart. If we're empathic brother or sister, it hurts us to see others hurt. We don't want to see those be in turmoil, and, don't make light of those who effed up their lives. But what always comes, consequences. We can feel sorry and pray for those, but I'm talking about those that have made like small mistakes, but those that have been toxic and like living demonic life, and they know it and aware of and like it, that's a whole nother topic there. Those who knew better and had opportunities and didn't take themselves out of it via celebrities, politics, those that are getting torn down in the media. I talk in code. Like I say, I see what goes on too, but I just deal with it in a strategic way. I don't get caught up in trends. Nothing against nobody that do. It's just my own thing. I don't do trends. I'm that kind of guy. I try to go above and beyond, and also focus on family, children, significant other, if you have one, things like that, because this world can pull you away from what? Family and our independent thinking, and away from our moments to ourselves, away from the busty city, as I read in the definition of serenity, find a place of serenity, man, a place where it's calm, cool, and you're unbothered and untroubled, but focused at the same time, as we have happiness and joy. Because the empathic, super self-aware brother and sister, along, along this walk we have been on in a while, we'll be able to be happy and be able to be focused. All those things. We'll be able to do all things under what? That greater, great divine. So those are the things I used to think about, like this picture on my banner here when I used to look out the window and just think about things, where I've come from and, where I'm going, and brothers and sisters I've met along the way, and how my family stuck in there with the brother, even in times when I didn't feel like I deserved it. There was times that my family was there. I wouldn't be the brother I am now if my family hadn't done some of the things they did to get me to this point. There were times when I didn't listen, but there was times when I didn't listen. And I think the times when I listened were vital. And that's why a lot of us, brothers and sisters, salute generals. That's why we're standing here today. Because the most successful, and I'm talking about in the mind, most successful, most intelligent brother or sister, and that's in our families too, children, are the best listeners to the right stuff, and able to listen to things like, never thought about it like that. It's beautiful when we can do that, and understand each other, get back on this walk and keep going, keep marching like the generals we are. Remember, we're no longer soldiers and soldierettes. We are now generals. Salute. And that's in our families, our children, brothers and sisters, friends, those who mean well and serious about life and just being right, period. Like I say, doesn't always have to be a deep spiritual thing. Just start with the right heart. That's all the great divine wants. Great divines don't care about how we talk or how we speak or what kind of life we live or what we wear, what we drive, how much money we have, how much we sing, how much people we're influencing. Pardon my French, but the great divine don't give a damn about none of that. Great divine wants what? Our heart, with the least amount of tools. It don't care about none of this other crap. It wants our heart. And then guess what? Mother Nature, that great divine, and Father Time will bless us with the things we need, and the things we want, the righteous wants will come. But we got to take care of those needs first, mind, body, and soul, see, hear, and feel. And then we pass that great energy, things we have learned, experiences, the power we have gained, transfer it over to our children, our youth, man, anybody we close to, make our positivity so powerful, man, it'll make them change without us saying nothing. You know what I'm saying? Just our radiation, our vibration is enough that will change. I think we are that powerful. Once we know it, once we in tune with it, brother or sister, So again, like I said, I just wanted to talk a little bit about my experience at M.A.T.C. I met some wonderful people. It was a wonderful environment to be in. Being around people who want to educate themselves and want to, just want to better themselves and be better. It just fills you with so much positivity. And I met some really wonderful people there. And the teachers were great. I met some great teachers, and they were male and female. Most of them were female though. And I have to say, females were, man, I ain't saying the males aren't, but it was a brother that was a good teacher that taught me algebra, because it was a long time I didn't know algebra. I'm not even gonna lie. I used to think algebra was so hard, but I learned it, and I got to learn it and find out, damn, it's not hard as I thought it was. Sometimes we can think things are difficult. It be our mind. Our mind is our worst freaking enemy, ladies and gentlemen. Real talk. And that's what it was when it came to this algebra. And it was a brother. He taught me, and I got to learn it. And I was like, wow, this wasn't hard as I thought all these years. I used to think algebra was so hard, and it's not. I have to refresh my memory and go back and remember. Because math isn't my best subject. I'm not going to lie. Not always been my best subject. Spelling more so. Words and stuff. I always had a kind of a unique thing with words. That's why I like writing rhymes, And I write in my book, Unlocking the Vault. It's kind of like a journal per se or something like that, but I call it Unlocking the Vault. And I just write down my thoughts. That's why I write, because I like words. But anyway, I thought algebra was so hard, and the brother taught me. And like I say, the teachers were awesome, and I learned a lot of stuff. And I had to say, one of my best friends I used to sit next to was an older lady, and she was up there. She probably was in her 60s, maybe a little older, and we used to sit next to each other. Man, it was just great. It was just a great environment. Nobody judged each other. or nothing. It was great. I didn't complete it, but I did go there for about 3 months or something like that because I ended up having to stop because my son Ethan was born, so I had to get a job, and so I couldn't go. But I did. I took that experience with me. I learned a lot of things that I had to refresh myself on because I hadn't been in school in a while, and a lot of things that I was doing I wasn't aware of. And I went back to school. I was like, wow, all the time I've been filling out applications, probably was doing them wrong. It's crazy when you have to re-educate yourself, but it's beautiful when you can just go back almost. And I didn't go back, but just kind of fix some of the errors that I was making, and punctuation and making resumes. I had to learn that too. I actually took a 5-day class on that, resumes, stuff like that, words I was writing wrong, just little things that I've been doing over the years, just I wasn't aware of. And when I went back to school, it brought all those things out. So it helped with my language. It helped with my writing. I became more articulate. I had to work on it. But it helped develop my language. It helped, I never knew how important proper grammar was. Some of us don't pay attention to how important proper grammar is. Now, it's still stuff I got to learn, but me going back to school kind of reinformed me. It's like updated me, like I said, it made me aware of little quirks and words and things I was doing. So that's the experience I draw from that. And what I'm saying all this for is that was a stepping stone. We can draw the good from everything. My mom say this, everything happens for a reason. And it's true. And that goes back to that divine doesn't do coincidences. Everything is in order. That force takes us through a certain lesson or a certain walk for a reason. And that's brother or sister, but every walk is different. But we have to be in tune with that positive, righteous force in order to see it or to know it or to feel it. Like I say, if it's weighing on your heart, and it bothers you, if it come in a dream and you feel really passionate about it, whatever gift it is, but it's got to be something righteous. It can't be nothing bad, that's your calling, whatever it is, because that's how I feel. And I'm sure others who are very passionate about what they do, they think about it all the time because that's their calling, whatever it is. But speaking is beautiful, when it's a righteous base, when it's no evil agenda, it can be beautiful. It can be soothing. It's therapeutic, self-therapy, the most beautiful thing you can do for oneself. So our calling, when do we know? When it's weighing on our heart, that's when we know. And it keep bothering us. The great divine will let you know, though, because like I say, we won't have to guess. We'll know. And that was just one experience at M.A.T.C. that I wanted to talk about, And another one of those righteous stepping stones, it's beautiful when we can introspect and think of those moments we power through, brothers and sisters, my generals, my family, children. So that's just something I wanted to share. And remember those righteous stepping stones in your life, get in those moments of solitude when we can. Get away from the busty city and find a place of serenity so we can get back on point, get back on post, and be ready for this life with things that's coming at us at all angles. But if we have a right heart and we've practiced positivity for a long time, remember, positivity is a means, is creating the means for a better life. More than just saying it, it's a way of life. So when you internalize that, you will be a general, and great things will come when we connect to that divine. It's not a matter of if. I don't care what nobody say. They will come. You just stay with it. And don't think about being successful in things to come. Just live your life, and they'll come out of nowhere. Because I've experienced this. I'm sure people in my family, other brothers and sisters. When you're not looking to get nothing and you're just doing right, right is gonna come. That's a given. It's a law of attraction, and I mean it. It's a promise. So that's some encouragement I want for the current subscribers, new subscribers, anybody that view. Stay great, and I mean it. We're not just powerful. We're doing powerful things. Amongst all this toxic shit out here. There's nothing like a righteous brother or sister, and that's in our families, outside our families, young or old. So that's my thought. Just wanted to share one's experience at M.A.T.C, the old mill town. And You know, when we feel that divine spirit in our soul, that's our calling. You know, it'll send that gift to us. So that's my thought. And I honor my family. I honor your family. I honor my children. Man, their mothers, brothers and sisters all over the world. Please keep that ultimate peace in your part of the world. And if you have a calling, brothers and sisters, please don't miss it. You never, you never know what that great divine has for us. You be surprised when we actually do live a righteous life, the great things that will come about. So stay great out there. Salute.